It's been since the 20th of January since we've had a sailing update. And Jagex is finally giving us something. So it's been a long time, a lot of silence on this skill and what's going to happen. So I know there's a video for us to react to, and there's a lot of content for us to go through. So we'll have a look. I personally did not vote for sailing. I didn't think sailing was the skill for the game. I think sailing can be implemented without being a skill and would be far more successful. I still believe that. But I am absolutely open to sailing until we see a beta and until we can actually play the game through sailing, like through playtesting. Because I think you can't really write things off when it's shit on paper, right? Even then, it wasn't necessarily super shit on paper. I don't know if like they're trying to just force it at this point. So let's see what they have here. They've got the Sailing Development Progress Update, Milestone 1, Navigation. Ahoy there. It's not a good start, boys. That is not a good start to the blog. We're thrilled to be sharing a much-awaited progress update on sailing, Old School RuneScape's first new skill. The team has been busy implementing navigation, making player boats move seamlessly through Gilinor's open ocean. Admittedly, this part of the project has taken longer than we initially expected. We've encountered various technical obstacles that had to be overcome. While we waited, we used our time to get ahead of our later milestones, including rewards and islands. Okay, so this is the big chart here. We've got phase 1, development structure. So they've developed the structure, right? Okay. And we're here. We're at the navigation phase of things still. But they said they've done work over in something to do with rewards, which... What do they say? They said rewards and islands? Okay, so they're doing a bit of work over in the primary gameplay. Okay. The development roadmap now looks something like this. You can see that the skill cape and icon competition has moved into phase 3, while navigation and tech alpha has been brought forward. Okay, yeah, that sounds more important than skill capes and icon competitions. That shit's like, that's you do that at the very end of the skill. No point holding a competition for something that might fail, right? So that's good to bring the important things forward. Sailing is a very ambitious project, perhaps our most ambitious project to date, I would agree, but we're confident that we can handle challenges as they come. And I agree with that too. I think Jagex can absolutely do that. We know you'd all prefer if we took our time with the skill instead of rushing it out the door. That's why we're so excited to show you all what we've been working on in these past few months. At least they've got something to show. Like if they gave us an update and it was like, oh, by the way, we haven't done shit, then it's a problem. But at least they're working on something here. Let's see what it is though. Remember, what you'll see here today is still far from the finished product, which is very important to remember. We need your feedback to make sailing the best it can be, so be sure to let us know what you think. Remember, positive feedback is more important than just negative attacks. Constructive criticism is actually the best form of feedback, more than anything. Navigation, Milestone 1. So Milestone 1 is the biggest of the whole roadmap, yep, as it includes the technical foundation that the rest of the skill will rest on. While we've spent a lot of time getting it right, we do expect the other milestones to fall in place much faster. That's fair. Navigating your way around the sea is shaping up to be very similar to how we described it during refinement, which I don't necessarily remember, where you'll use the classic click to move controls to move your boat across the sea while also moving your character on the boat. This is consistent for any type of boat, whether they're small, large, or colossal, although their movement speed is subject to change. Previously shared a proof of concept prototype, but now it's time to look at the real deal. So we've got a video here. This video doesn't load on your browser. I don't give a fuck. All right, let's have a look at this video. Sailing Development Progress Update. I think this is time to look at it, yeah? One is submarining. We're strong. Full screen, cunt! All right, shut up. All right, let's restart. All right, let me know if it's too quiet. I'm going to crank it anyway. Let me know if it's too quiet. I can turn it up a bit more. But, all right, good luck. Sailing Development Progress Update.
Oh my word.
Whoa.
God, that is a big ship. Look at this lift.
Oh, good. Video lag instantly. That's good.
Oh my word.
Whoa.
God, that is a big ship. Look at this lift.
Don't worry. It's getting there. Let it cook.
Technique.
Now it's sailing.
Hello sailors!
Hello, sailors.
Hello sailors! We're back with an exciting update on the sailing skill.
All right.
You know, it's been a while since last time, so we thought we'd show you some of what we've been cooking up.
First up,
Let's take a look at the tech side of
That's
sailing.
the guy. That's the guy that's busted our RNG. That's him, boys. Remember, he's the reason we don't get any fucking drops.
Look at the tech side of sailing.
Tech ahoy. All right.
One challenge we quickly found was that, given the size of ships, the usual movement algorithm just doesn't feel great. We're used to our characters moving that way, but applied to a ship, it just doesn't feel quite right. We started looking at making ships turn in a larger arc, how you'd realistically expect them to.
Whoa.
Drifting.
Yeah, it feels like I'm drifting.
As you can see, when the ship moves, it more gradually turns to face the direction it wants to go in, rather than just turning on the spot. Another challenge we've had to overcome is how our ships deal with blocking. Simply put, that means that ships shouldn't go on land. We didn't show it before because, frankly, it looked a little odd.
That's
but
fair.
Ships could sail across land in our initial prototype. We have, of course, changed that to make sure that ships stick to the sea, but there still needs further work for the ships to understand just how big they are.
Oh my goodness, that is big.
They can easily get stuck too, which isn't ideal, and we will, of course, fix for launch.
Immediately, just want to check this out. No one's telling me to stop yet, so I'm presuming this is totally allowed. Oh my lord, I'm taking damage. Right, that was a mistake. Elena, help me now.
From the start, we wanted to make sure that different sized ships offer different advantages. Some larger ones might be more spacious and well equipped, while others might go
Man,
faster.
look at the fucking size of the boat, though, man. That is massive. Like, if this, let's say, like this, look, it's bigger than the fucking Lady Lumbridge. Is this colossal, you reckon? This one here? That's gotta be small, right? So the large would be somewhere in between. That's a big fucking boat, man. Like, are you gonna be able to, like what happens if you collide with other boats? Are you gonna clip through them like you do players? That, I mean, I'm sure they're gonna figure that out, but that is a big fucking boat, man. There will be no boat PvP. No, the whole PvP aspect should be forgotten. Forget PvP when it comes to sailing. It is such a fucking, like, it's such a reach for what you want. You're not going to do PvP anyway, and it is just a distraction from the main goal of the skill to even get it to the game. Like, worrying about PvP is not going to it's not going to happen. Okay, this isn't Sea of Thieves. But that is a massive boat, man. Drop that slug. I dropped butt slugs after a night out on the grog that looked better than this. All right, thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Larger ones might be more spacious and well equipped, while others might go faster.
The way of gaining sailing XP is by interacting with facilities on your ship. The most basic facility interaction is trimming the sails. At predictable intervals, the sails will start luffing, meaning they don't catch the wind very well anymore. This slows down your ship if left luffing for too long. You can trim the sails to pick the speed back up and get a nice bit of XP while doing so.
What's happening to your sail?
Oh, right, I can luff it like that. 35 sailing experience. Oh my god, I'm on my way to 99.
That sounds fucking annoying. I'm gonna be honest with you. Bodhi is the reason the skill pasted, and I hate him for it. I don't know. I wouldn't blame Bodhi for this at all. I know he made a video talking about it, but I don't know. I think we're beyond that point. Yeah, I think that sounds kind of annoying. Like, how it depends how often you're gonna have to luff your sail or whatever. But this is a problem that I've had with sailing in general. Is like if there isn't enough content, if there's too much dead space on the water, then you're never going to enjoy it, because you don't even want to fucking run in game. You want to teleport everywhere. The last thing you want to do is stand on your boat and sail for 30 to 40 seconds to a objective to complete a task or to fight a boss or to do an island. Like, it's like there needs to be a quick way to travel with sailing like there is on land. Otherwise, people are going to really dislike it. But at the same time, if you have too much in the water and too much on the map, it's going to feel really cluttered and people are going to be overwhelmed. There's going to be too much shit in your way. They have to find a very fucking fine line, in my opinion. Just want to pick up sexy mermaids? Well, good luck with that, dude. Sailing part is ironically the least interesting part of the skill, but it's also the most important part of the skill, right? It's the least interesting part, absolutely, but it is so fucking important that they get it right. We'll probably end up like the balloon travel, manual first trip, then automated after. Then what's the point in fucking sailing if you're not going to sail? Like, if you're not actually going to physically sail in game, right? You ever played Wind Waker? No, I've used a Wind Waker in Dota though. It's hard to bounce around, so we'll have to see how they do it. But it's like there is a very fucking. It's going to be very difficult to kind of make it work, you know?
Meaning they don't catch the wind very well anymore. This slows down your ship if left luffing for too long. You can trim the sails to pick the speed back up and get a nice bit of XP while doing so.
Yeah.
What's happening to your sail?
Oh, right, I can luff it like that. 35 sailing experience. Oh my god, I'm on my way to 99.
This is, of course, not the only way to train sailing. We have developed early versions of 2 gameplay methods with more to come later. One such type of gameplay is port tasks. This is all about offering up your ship as a service to the locals at a port to help them with the challenges that they're facing.
Slayer.
Okay, we've got a bunch of jobs. Gonna be a noob and go for the level 1. I accidentally received this crate of steel swords. Luckily, I've made a good deal with some people down at Moose Point to buy them off of me. Okay, Brian, I'll take the cargo.
For now, the challenges are largely the fact that they want things delivered to various ports. We call these type of tasks courier tasks.
Oh, hell yeah. God, look at me go. Oh my god, I'm strong. Nice. Okay, now I need to go to Moosa Point. I don't need a world map because I know the old school RuneScape world map like the back of my hand, and Moosa Point is this way. is this
way?
I'm confident. Oh, is that ducks? No, they're sharks. I think this is Moosa Point.
That's Mud Skipper Point.
No, oh yes, Moosa Point is.
Well, he fucking sucks big time at the game. Holy shit. That was just basically Gnome Restaurant 2, right? That's pretty much what that was, which isn't a problem, I guess, provided it's profitable and fast. But imagine Gnome Restaurant where you can't teleport, right? That would be kind of garbage. So what are you doing on the way? To sail from Port Sarum to Moosa Point? How long is that going to take? He was in Port Fatimus, wasn't he, picking that up? Maybe no, maybe not. Maybe it was just green or whatever. But how long is that going to take to sail from there to there, as opposed to a glory amulet and then run? You know, that's the problem they're gonna face. I think, in my opinion. Glad the artists voted for this garbage. Yeah, absolutely.
Is of course here. Clearly Moosa Point. 122 bones. My god, I'm gonna be 200 mil prayer XP.
If I received bones as a fucking reward, noted bones. That I would be fucking pissed. Jesus.
You might encounter shipwrecks on the way. If you have a salvaging hook facility built on your ship, it can be used to salvage useful parts from the shipwreck.
As soon as it's going to run out like a tree would, maybe get replaced with a boat stump. Is that how
That's kind of
works?
cool. I like that.
Nice. All right. Oh, and it just ticks away like that. It's a nice AFK. So this is better salvage, so I presume I should be quite happy about that.
So I guess this is not so much like you need to be right at the salvage point and you're just trying to get the stuff that's fallen to the bottom of the ocean, basically.
The shipwrecks will probably look a bit more like large shipwrecks, so you only see parts.
Brendan, thank you, dude. I appreciate that, man.
Like
No,
a
maybe.
blast.
Exactly.
Pause, because that shit makes a loud fucking noise over the audio. But I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Welcome back to the membership. You should at least be able to sell the Epstein Island for armor trimming. Yeah, sell that. Yeah, absolutely, you should be able to. Been told to work on projects, and then they were scrapped after I was done. They still have time to stop. Yep.
Shipwreck salvaging aims to be a social-friendly, more laid-back way of training sailing. The salvage will be unidentified when you find it, but you can sort through it at a salvaging station found at ports.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, that can be anything.
Okay, sweet. I get the loop there. Is that just like a drop table for all sorts of salvage?
Depends on the salvage that the shipwreck that you've salvaged.
10 gold bars. This is a roller coaster of a
So
ride.
I
getting very
get
lucky.
the idea to make it kind of like you're always doing something, but why not just be able to open the crate when you get it, rather than having to go to a specific station? Like, I feel like you're just adding extra steps to claiming a reward for a task that isn't necessarily like worth it. You know, like what's the point? That's like, imagine like you couldn't get your Wintertodd crates open unless you went to a bench outside Wintertodd and you had to open them there, rather than doing it like anywhere else in the world when you're done, when you wanted to open them. You know, it's just kind of like, it's unnecessary to have that. That's something that they'll just end up removing later when people constantly say this is fucking annoying, you know? I don't know who this is aimed at. As someone who is still shit, I already have way too much to do for the people bored who want to know, sorry, who don't know what to do. I don't think sailing is going to be enjoyable for them. Again, we need to get a beta test to actually like get a feel for it. But from how it looks, it's a lot of traveling. Traveling is something people don't like doing in RuneScape. Someone in the clan yesterday was complaining. He was like, I don't want to go to Mayaditch because for a clue scroll because it's too long of a clue. It's like a 3-minute like clue. Just teleport to Tob and then walk outside the doors and do the clue. But people don't even want to do that, man. They don't even want to do like simple clue steps that don't take a whole lot of time to travel, even if you have teleports close by, you know? People don't want to do deep worldy clues because they can't get out quick enough. The last thing we need to do is now go sailing and spend 5-10 minutes sailing around. It's very tedious, you know? It's to build a gameplay loop, which isn't a good way to do it. Well, they need a gameplay loop. It's just this isn't the sort of gameplay loop that RuneScape needs, I guess, or that RuneScape players want, should I say?
Am I?
Oh, little key here, yeah, fishing key. Snake's a fish, great.
What do you think the key could do?
Well, I'm presuming that the island that allured me earlier is all about that key, but that's my presumption, and I'm terrified of getting stuck there again.
Oh, you have a different ship now.
I do have a different ship.
We've not forgotten about the other gameplay we discussed in refinement, such as Barracuda trials, charting the sea, and even ship combat. These are still on our to-do list.
While out at sea, you never know what obstacles you'll face. Sometimes it's all smooth sailing, other times it's stormy weather and high seas. Thankfully, you can build facilities on your ship that can help counter some of these obstacles. Sometimes, a heated lantern might be just hot enough to let you pass through icy waters. Other times, you might need a particularly strong keel under your ship to pass over sharp reefs.
This larger ship,
I like that.
I'm presuming can sail
I think
on
that's
this
really
ice.
cool.
Why is that?
It's just pure faith in you.
Could it have anything to do with anything on the ship?
I have this lantern. Is that enchanted?
I think that's a cool idea to have different features or different, I guess, mechanics equipped to your boat to be able to travel through certain waters. I think that's a cool idea. I like that. That's not bad. We get passive XP by literally just traveling. Only if you're doing the sails properly, I believe, yes. That movement is jank. All movement is jank in this game, but they're not using animations movement. You're probably used to that, you know? I think you're just being too negative. Who's being too negative? What the fuck is the point of this skill? That is the $1 million question. That's the question that the JMods need to answer. I'll be day 0 sailing header and will be thrilled to be proved wrong. Yeah, no, absolutely. Imagine if they teased construction by just showing you spam building low-level chairs and ladders without telling you about endgame POH. You'll jump to conclusions hella fast. I don't know what construction was like when it first came out in terms of endgame, so I'm not sure if it's actually like you didn't have altars and fairings and shit in pools, right? When it originally came out, so there probably wasn't anything to show anyway. What's the point of fire making? To burn logs. Will you reach that goal is the question. Yeah, you could ask what the point of half the skills are, to be fair. Yeah, that's fair. But when you're adding a skill to the game, I think that needs to be that's a more important question than what's the point of fire making. Fire making came out when the game was out. Like, you're not going to remove fire making. That's why I didn't like Bodhi's argument when he was like, no one would vote for fire making if it came out, if it was polled today. Right, but fire making's been in the game since 2001 and has a purpose like throughout the game for light sources. It's a very basic purpose. It's very simple. It's very easy to level, but old school RuneScape's foundation has been built off of that. Like, that's why you have Wintertodt, right? It's a completely different fucking discussion. I'd like it if there was a boat teleport and you can quick sail to some ports. I would like that too. Fast traveling on the boat would be great, but I feel like that's going to just ruin a lot of what they're doing here. What's the point in this shit with different things on your boats to travel to like icy reefs to open a chest? Why would this be in the game if you're just going to quick travel around the world, you know? Remember shamanism? I think shamanism and taming I voted for over this. I think shamanism was my #1 choice, I think. Grandfathered pointless skill is different than a new pointless skill. Fair, yeah. Personally, I think it's going to be dumb as shit. Not a lot of people seem to be happy about sailing currently. Once you give a fuck ton on land, with sailing you can not give a fuck on sea. Why just not give a fuck on land? We're saying you can not give a fuck on sea. Yes, sure. I agree. What's up, Amanda? How you doing? Oh, we're about 5 minutes into the video. With what the choice was in the poll, has to be the... Sorry. With what was the choice in the poll, it has to be that one. Let's be fair. Did someone here vote for sailing? I'm not sure how many people here voted for sailing. I already feel so behind. Another 100 hours of skill don't sound sweet.
Lands in it. A strange lands and giving off a sense of warmth enough to protect the ship from low-level frozen waters. That all makes so much sense. It's so much simpler than my assumptions about what it would be. Ta-da, let's open.
Where'd the boat go?
So what I can do with this extra key is a big mystery to me, but I don't think we probably have the time to work that out.
Building and utilizing these facilities to their fullest will require various sailing levels, meaning that you've got some exciting new places to unlock at higher levels.
Navigating the sea needs to feel good. This goes further than just how the ship moves, and we have to ensure sailing the seas works just as well for mobile players as it will for desktop players. We're aware, as you probably are from watching this, that we still have work to do on the draw distance and general playability of sailing. A lot of the work that has allowed us to capture this footage is in preparation for the upcoming technical alpha, the first time players will have a chance to be hands-on with the skill. This alpha would be closed to a group of select players so we can get focused feedback specifically on ship navigation before we then move.
Being close to select players is going to be kind of questionable. Like, how many players? What are the experience levels of these players? How often do they play the game? How long have they been playing the game for? What other games do they play? What do they play outside of old school RuneScape? And more importantly, don't make them fucking content creators, right? Don't do that, because a lot, like, players definitely, but the best part about content creators is that you know their name, you can identify them, and you can see their public opinions constantly. And I would say 90% of content creators in this game are dumb as shit. They are not intelligent. Okay, they play the game. I'm sure some of them are pretty funny. They've got a couple of skills here and there. But a lot of them are not very intelligent people, okay? And that's putting it lightly. They don't think outside the box. They don't think about their own, anything outside of their preferred play style. They don't think about the broader picture, the bigger player base of the game, you know? I feel like a lot of them will be yes men. Well, I would like to think that Jagex will take parties, take people from every party. You'll probably have some content creators on there, absolutely. But I would be very careful with who you pick, because you don't want a content creator that's been shitting on it constantly, and you don't want a content creator that's been praising it constantly. You want to kind of have a content creator, or just a person, should we say, but let's be honest, if a content creator is chosen to test this game, there's going to be immediate public bias and public backlash for that choice, right? If Bodhi gets picked to playtest sailing, people are going to be fucking pissed because he made a video on it, because he's advocated for it, and now they're gonna like, why the fuck would you pick Bodhi? So I am probably a very good choice to playtest this for sure, yeah, because I'm not going to be retarded about what I say and how we test it, and I'll think well outside the box on what needs to be tested for sailing, sure. I don't imagine I would be picked though, because I know that there are a handful of JMods that aren't big fans of me, that have blacklisted me from certain things, so I don't expect to be picked. But I'm a very fucking good choice. But you just have to be careful when you're picking people in the community too, just players in general, you know? Bodhi is very neutral and does think of the bigger picture though. Right, but the people in, like, the player base is going to fucking hate it. Hate that he's being picked. I don't know how neutral he is with sailing. As far as I'm concerned, he wanted it. He was for it, right? Which is fine. It's totally fair. And he's not a bad choice to play test it. But people are going to fucking hate that, man. And then that's going to drive people to hate the skill. And then that's going to drive people to downvote the skill. And then the skill's just going to get scrapped, right? Like, it's very easy to turn the community against the idea of sailing. Very fucking easy to do, man. But Bodhi's a retard. No, I wouldn't class him as a retard. I think I think he can be quite intelligent with some things in when it comes to the game. Not everything I've seen from him has been perfect, but he's pretty switched on. I don't know what he knows about game development though, or what he knows about just gaming in general outside of RuneScape and like Quake and shit. I'm not sure. What did you do to the J mods? Nothing as far as I know. We need to get the People's Champion Hanani to playtest it, as she is representative of the skill level of the average player, which is to say bad. I mean, yeah, sure. Why not? I'm not sure if being bad is a good
where
idea.
you'll all be able to try out Old School's first new skill with some of these improvements already in place. We're now fully charting our course through the choppy waters of developing sailing. And as with any great voyage, we've encountered some technical hurdles along the way that have slowed our progress slightly. Rest assured though, we're not just drifting aimlessly. We're steering the ship with precision and making sure every knot is tied perfectly. It's taken a bit longer to navigate these obstacles, but we believe it's better for us to take the time needed to get things ship-shape now, rather than rushing through and having to resolve them anyway further down the line. After all, sailing is Old School's first new skill, and we want to make sure its release is as epic as it can be. We're still moored at Phase 1, Milestone 1 on our current roadmap. And while that might seem like we're just treading water, we've actually been all hands on deck, front-loading a lot of the technical work, which, trust me, will make our journey speed up significantly once we're past this initial point. We already have a lot of the design work ready for future milestones, and we'll be sharing more on that real soon. Our next update will be on primary gameplay, which then leads into customization and crew. Once we've got past these, it'll be on to discussing islands and all the shinies you can expect to grab from them. That's when we'll also have some competitions for a player-designed island, the skill cape, and the sailing skill icon. Well, that's all for now. Until next time.
Until next time.
Until next time.
Yeah, I think that showed us pretty much that they don't have a whole lot of content for us to test yet. That's what I took away from that. Like, islands aren't ready to explore or to get to, which is, I mean, if that's where they're not at yet, then so be it. But that basically just said, we've got boats moving in the water and we have jobs. That's good. Yeah, it's still phase 1. Absolutely, it is still navigation alpha. So the thing is, playtesting that is like, what the fuck is that going to show us? You know, staying optimistic. Yeah, I think that's fair to stay optimistic about. No answer on raids, PVM, PvP, or anything really. Well, I think that was a bit of a cop out by Jagex when they were like, sailing can bring us a new raid. The fucking shamanism can bring you a new fucking raid. Like, like, that's just them trying to convince idiots like you to be like, oh, new raid? Gotta vote for that skill. No, okay? We're not going to get an answer on raids or PVM or PvP. They said they'll do ship combat in the future, but not right now. PvP isn't going to happen in sailing for a very long time. It shouldn't happen, in my opinion. Condor would be an objectively good choice for a neutral playtester / feedback, but with his bluntness, unfiltered manner of speech, they might not like him, and also they can't verify his playtest quality. Why can't they verify my playtest quality? If they don't like my bluntness or unfiltered manner of speech, that doesn't matter about playtesting. Like, you know, that's got nothing to do with playtesting at the end of the day. Do you think a new raid is on the horizon? No. Since our initial prototype, we've been busy laying the technical foundations for everything in the video above. Okay. This included improvements to the stability and performance of the Java and C++ clients. The best way to improve your Java client is to just fucking get rid of it. Like, there is no better way to improve a Java client than to fuck it off and just C++ everything. Like, why are you fucking with 2 clients, like 2 engines? Why do you continue to do this, Jagex? Why are we still, like, why are you doubling up? Just make one client, fuck the other client off, and get the C++ client imported through RuneLite, or get RuneLite to incorporate it into the C++ client, so then everyone's on the same fucking page. Like, why are they still fucking with Java in 2024? Can't rid of Java client without banning RuneLite? Well, what if the RuneLite's on the C++ client? Then you haven't got a problem, right? It's not that easy. How, like, would you say it should, how many years would it take for them to do that? Because this C++ client's been out for like 4 fucking years, dude. RuneLight's in Java? Okay, so why not put RuneLight in C++? You're a programmer? No, I'm not. How hard is it to they've got a fully functioning C++ client, so what's the problem? You got to reprogram everything for C++ from Java, right? I have no idea. Plugin system would need a complete rework. They've already got a plugin system on the C++ client. They've got one. It's on the Steam client. It's on mobile. It's right there. I think RuneLight on C++ would essentially be making it from scratch again. Went to college for comp science. Right, but why are they still trying to improve Java instead of just putting everything onto C++? Like why not put more effort into this client and fuck Java off? Why don't they just do it all in HTML? Because I don't know. I don't know. I think it's weird that they're trying to build a whole new skill with this whole new game design on both clients. Like they should just fucking focus on the more advanced one and then move on, you know? Bring RuneLight to C++ or bring the RuneLight plugins to C++, which they've been doing. They just are fucking slow with it. Most people run the Java client. Right, but if you had a C++ client that was RuneLight on just a better fucking engine that ran better, that didn't fuck with your computer and didn't eat your CPU, wouldn't that be better? Just got here, does it still look like dog shit? Yeah. The anywhere required to make boats turn, control their speed, add collision, implement boarding and multiplayer options, increase draw distance, block out scenery and more. Sure. Alright. You'll notice that we haven't yet implemented weather mechanics. We're still experimenting with this feature and we want to ensure it feels right before we show it off. Yeah, that's going to fucking be annoying. I agree, but I think the C++ client isn't there yet. Would you rather they wait on developing sailing until the C++ reaches parity with RuneLight so people don't mind third parties being banned? You don't think the C++ client's there yet? I'd like it's... The only thing it's missing is like a few plugins that you probably want, like Quest Helper and like maybe... Does it have True Tile Indicator? I don't know. It's got tile markers. It's got all that bullshit. It's got all your floor markers. All the main core fucking plugins. So I don't know what plugins you'd want on C++. Like what do you want? What do you have in RuneLight that you want moved over? Door Kicker doesn't count, for example. Right? Clue Solver would count, yes. But like fucking dance parties, so everyone in your screen is dancing all the time, that doesn't count. That's not a plugin you need over. That can wait. Sound Swapper, no, people with disabilities should be at the back of the fucking queue. We realized early on that although both boats and players' characters use click to move mechanics, we wanted navigation to feel distinct from player movement when turning in your boat. It will move in an arc rather than instantly face. Yeah, we know all this shit. Like, are they just repeating the fucking video to me here now? There's me playing on mobile 99% of the time. That's the C++ client on mobile. That's the same. They're using the same like plugin system. The mobile client's just further behind. But that's where they're drawing the inspiration from. Probably takes more time to port RuneLight to the C++ client. It isn't about specific plugins, but it would. I would want to be able to make custom plugins for the client. Yes, and they said they're going to do that. They're going to open up a hub for players to make plugins for the new advanced client. They said they're going to do that, so whenever they can do that, that'd be great. But like, that's why are they still putting all this effort into the Java client? Just fuck it off, you know. They've got a fully functioning client, and they've got the guy that made RuneLight, the head of RuneLight. They've got him developing the plugins to move it over to the advanced client. Fucking speed that shit up, you know. You ever thought about going into programming? No, I'd rather just do YouTube. It's easier. We're delighted to announce that we'll be running the Open Technical Alpha in the next few months. Okay, this will allow everyone to test the basics of navigation experience, a little bit of primary gameplay, including port tasks and shipwreck salvaging. Our aim is to make sure that players enjoy what we've made during Milestone 1. And if all goes well, we'll be able to make move into the next phase of development. And if it doesn't go well, do they go back to the drawing board? How many times? Our other milestones all rely on getting navigation right, so we'll need to ensure you that you're all happy for us to proceed before we can get stuck into it. We're also running a closed alpha sometime in early June, so that's in like 3 weeks, which will be open to around 20 NDA players. 20 players. Smaller alpha will also focus on gathering initial impressions and seeing how this small test group feels about navigation. Starting small simply to give us more confidence before we show sailing to the rest of the community. We know the first impressions can be have lasting influence on players' opinion, so we're hoping that extra layer of feedback will help us polish those last little details before going public. That's very important there. First impressions can have lasting influence on player opinion. Absolutely. That's pretty much what I was talking about with the Bodhi situation. Bank tab layouts available on C++. I believe bank tabs are standard, yes. After the closed playtest, we'll evaluate the responses we've got and then decide when the technical alpha will be available for everyone to try. Okay, so technical alpha is for the player base. Gotcha. The engine required to run the tech alphas will be implemented on our next available update. While it should mostly be invisible, there may be some unexpected game behavior following the changes, so we'll be keeping a close eye on things to fix any problems as arise. Fair enough. Disclaimer, we've decided to call the technical alpha because it's still further along in development than a beta should be. Less further, right? Yeah, okay. Please bear in mind that what you see here is very different from how sailing would look at launch. This alpha is purely to test the navigational mechanics and boat movements. That's really important to remember. Like, if you say this looks like shit, that's not what it's about. It's about how it feels. It's almost like they didn't think of how dumb and difficult ship movement would be in a tile-based point-and-click game before they forced it into the game. That's what they're trying to do. Even the primary gameplay is there so you can feel what these mechanics are like to use. We're really excited to get your first hands-on look at sailing. Okay, awesome. Makes sense. We'd like to keep the focus on how you feel about navigation rather than the concerns about the skill. Additionally, this will be the very first time that multiple boats are stress tested at scale, which will help us to understand impact on server and client performance. This might break, and this won't be a finished product. Things might break and won't be a finished product, so please keep in mind that this is just an alpha, and we're fully expecting there to be some rough edges, of course. Makes sense. Regardless, these tests are critical to ensure that we deliver an amazing skill, and we hope they'll be a lot of fun too. All right. Navigation basics. You'll want to head to Port Sam to speak to a wee fellow called Junior Jim, who will help you aboard your boat. To begin, your boat will be small and contain a few basic facilities on board. Click to move around the boat and interact with other objects on deck. To start navigating, click on the rubber or wheel. Okay. In navigation mode, you can click on the ocean to move your boat. Right, makes sense. You'll notice that your character is no longer able to move around the boat by clicking. This is a feature we've implemented to avoid misclicks at sea. Unfortunately, it means you can't interact with facilities until you exit navigation mode. We're really keen to see how this feels. I think that makes sense. It's kind of like if you played Sea of Thieves, you're either at the wheel or you're on the boat. Like once you're on the wheel, everything you do is about turning the wheel, basically. And then when you're off the wheel, that's when you can go load yourself into a cannon and shoot yourself at people and things like that, you know? Going to be a nightmare to balance the endgame loot to weigh in time versus teleports. Well, that's it, you know? With only 20 playing, it'll be hard to find all major bugs. Yeah, this isn't the closed alpha isn't about finding bugs. This is about the closed alpha for the 20 NDA players is about putting them in the game and figuring out if it works mechanically. Does this feel right? Sailing a boat, does it make sense to have the boats move like this? Does it make sense for them to be navigated this way? Does it make sense to have you stationary on the boat to move the boat, then you come out of navigation mode to be able to move on the boat? Could it still be moving while you're walking around? Does it feel acceptable going from Port Sarim to Moosa Point for a task? Does it take too long? Is it too fast? Does it feel like it's actually fucking worth doing? Things like that, you know? Does it mechanically make sense to the game? It's not so, does it look good? Does it feel like you're enjoying the skill? None of that shit matters, right? It's purely just mechanically, does it work, and does it feel like this is something that could be long-term in the game? I think if it's not a skill, it'll work a lot better, but, I mean, until it's actually tested, we don't know, you know? It's not Goku. Your boat will always move at a certain speed, but you can make it faster by ensuring the sails are trimmed properly. See, testing things like that, making sure that it's not too fucking annoying. What if you have to trim your sails all the fucking time, that it's kind of like hard to maintain a high speed on your boat and then turn at the same time because you've got to go back to navigation to turn your boat and then go back to your sails to trim them? That's just like, it keeps you busy, but is it too much? Is it too annoying? Does it make it feel like you're just kind of trying to keep this boat afloat without hitting any islands or any like structures in the water? I don't know how they're going to nail down what sailing brings to the game. If I have to kill the same monsters on an island, that's gay. Well, I don't know yet. We're nowhere near that part yet. You should notice that over time they begin to luff and wiggle in the wind. To trim them again, you'll need to disengage navigation mode, click the sails, which will reward you with XP. Those who've been following sailing since refinement will spot that this is one of the core gameplay loops we're talking about. Simple, repeatable action akin to chopping trees in wood cutting or cleaning herbs in herblore. Alright. You can also earn XP by interacting with other facilities in your boat, including cannons, weighted dredging nets, salvaging stations, and more. Not all these facilities are available during alpha test, but you can still try out shipwreck salvaging to see how it feels. Okay, boat terminology. Captain, the original owner of the boat, and the player who, initially generated it. The captain controls boat facilities and other customizable options such as boat cosmetics. Crewmates, any other player on the boat. While crew management isn't part of the technical alpha, you'll later be able to acquire NPC crewmates too, and navigator, a player who's allowed to navigate the boat. This role is either appointed by the captain or the navigator when the captain leaves the boat. That's pretty cool. I like that you can have people on your boat, but only certain people can navigate the boat. Only certain people can drive. That's kind of nice. I like that they have some sort of like, they have a role system for the boat. That's smart. That's cool. That adds a bit of fun, I think, within like friend groups and shit as well. Especially, you don't want that drunk driver at the fucking wheel. And if there is some sort of cool group content, you're probably going to want, if they do have more roles eventually, you're going to want someone on the navigator role while other people are doing their thing, So that's kind of cool. I like that idea. It's pretty basic, pretty simple. Boat parts. Sails indicate whether the boat is catching the wind, going at full speed or not. When they are not catching the wind, they are luffing and must be trimmed. Rigging, the ropes attached to the sails. When the boat luffs, the player can interact with the rigging to catch the wind again. Yep, wheel used for navigation. Interacting with the wheel as the navigator lets you take control of the boat. And facility, a customizable functional feature on the boat. See the core gameplay refinement blog to see how things like sails, dredge nets, cannons, and cargo holds can be upgraded. All right. Add a bit of fun with friend in there. No, yeah, it's good. Fun with friends. Might be nice for the tasks and goals going towards making your own port so you can have multiple ships that can be put out to gather rewards, kind of like a daily. Still shouldn't be the main point. Yeah, that's fair. Navigation controls. Fuck me, there is a... Alright, we've got a couple of islands, that's cool. Alright, a player must be stood at the wheel or rudder, to steer the boat. Later NPC crewmates will be able to take the wheel if needed. By default, only the captain can use the wheel to navigate the boat. The captain has the ability to transfer navigation controls to any crewmate and can revoke the permission at any time. So you can just rip someone off the fucking wheel, which is pretty cool. A navigator can transfer control back to the captain if the captain is on board. They can only transfer controls to another crewmate if the captain is not on board. Alright. Embarking and disembarking. Boarding from a dock. Disembarking when no one is on the boat will despawn the boat. For now, players can dock their boat at a port by speaking to Junior Jim. Multiplayer. Other players can ask permission to board someone else's boat at port. You'll need to enter the name of the captain whose boat you'd like to board, and the boat must be at the same port. Right? Leaving the boat. The navigator on the boat leaves the boat by any means. Controls are transferred to the captain. If the captain has also disembarked, then controls are transferred to a random player on board. If nobody is on board, the boat will despawn. Teleport and death. Players can leave the boat by a number of means. Death, teleport, log out, manually choosing to alight at port or mooring points, whatever a mooring point is. When the last player on the boat leaves, it will despawn. If the captain leaves in any way other than disconnecting while other players are aboard, a 5-minute timer will begin. If the captain is not returned by the time the timer runs out, the boat will be disabled. It cannot be sailed, and the facilities on board cannot be interacted with. Other players can stay on the boat as long as they want, or simply disembark by teleporting, logging out, or sailing the boat to a port. Okay, that sounds like some sort of fast travel shit. When the last person disembarks, the boat is removed. All right. The future, you'll be able to retrieve your boat and use them again and again, but the feature won't be present in technical alpha. Okay. What do you think of a clan boat for some sort of clan boss you can only kill with a bigger clan boat? Well, the clan hall's dog shit, so that sounds like it's just going to be more dog shit, to be honest. What's the point of the skill? To sail the seas. Sailing an island. So during refinement, we explained that the islands and the points of interest will be a major part of sailing's reward space. Islands contain all sorts of exciting stuff, from fearsome bosses to exciting ways to train your skills, but they also present a thrilling opportunity to discover and unlock new content as part of a bigger adventure. You could be the first person to stumble upon a new location, or you can set sail with friends and search for new challenges you've only heard rumors about. Islands are diverse, and there's sure to be one for every kind of player. To give you a taste of what islands have to offer, we're going to share a few early ideas, although we're not ready to let you see the full designs. All right, so we've got the Pandemonium, which is basically this place here. What's it called? Here you go. Let me pull up the client. This is pretty much, from what I can tell, I think it's called Pirates Cove, is it? I think it's Pirates Cove. Basically, it's basically this island out here. That's pretty much what we've got. Pirates Cove and Pandemonium, pretty much looking the exact same, with an island up here instead of down there. All right. Or maybe you could say Temperos. I don't know. No, Temperos has another island. Anyways, I'll stop blabbing on. The Pandemonium was a mighty boat. That's a boat. Captained by the most incompetent pirate to ever sail the seas. Yep. His name is Squawking Steve Beanie. Shout out to Beans. And his greatest and only achievement was crashing his boat into a rocky islet off the coast of Karamja after getting turned around in the temporal storm. There you go. Keen to ensure that no other would be... I don't care about the fucking law. That's the island. Here's another one. This is called the Great Conch. This is the turtle thing, right? When they're going to do that, it's like turtle boss, the conch. That looks kind of cool. Looks kind of dead, but it's there. I like the conch. And then we've got the cursed archipelago. It's pretty cool. All right. That's nice. And we got the Shrieking Rock, which is like the Shrieking Shack, but it's a rock. Yeah, we got the Great Cooch. And then we've got the Kiliphos, which is another island. That's cool. And then community consultation notes. It's all the information we can share about. Okay, no one gives a fuck. All right, that's cool. Awesome. So that's sailing in a nutshell so far, boys. What do you think? You got 60 seconds in the chat to tell me if you think this is something that you would thumbs up to go and try an alpha. Would you try the alpha, or would you just bin it immediately if you had the choice? That's what I don't know. Does the cooch have a smell? It's got turtles. Is it a skill? It is a skill, apparently. You'd bin it. I'd try for sure. Incinerator, neutral until more info. You would say it is dog shit. I would try the alpha. Thumbs up myself. Understandable. I'm excited to be a pirate. People need to not bitch when it's still got so long to go. Yep, okay. I would give the alpha a shot, for sure. I would like to give the alpha a shot. I don't think this tells us a whole lot. I trust that they've been working on some stuff in the background, but I think for the past 4 months, I don't think they have a whole lot to show. But again, I don't know what engine work's happening and what's going on in the background. I have no idea how it works. So I think I would like to wait for the open alpha and see how we go. Not looking like content I want to do, but I'd try it. Yeah, I would have a look. The thing is right, this is why it's dangerous to be doing this as a skill rather than a mini game or as just a piece of content to the game, right? Is that if it's a skill, every player is going to feel like it's mandatory. If it's a skill, you've got to do it. You're going to feel like you've got to do it, or at least to a certain level where the meta works. Like construction, you just do to 83. 83 to 99 construction is just dead content, or 85, if you will, is completely dead content. You only do it if you want to max, right? Same thing goes for, I guess, rune crafting. Once you hit 77, it's just kind of AFK and chill. Agility was the same until you hit 96 now for the Master Clue. Prayer. There's no point going past 85 Prayer unless you're looking to max because it is just dead content, all right? Fire making, you could argue fire making too, yes, absolutely. But Wintertod provides good money that fire making is justifiable to go to 99 and it's quick, right? Construction cape is OP though, but the gap between 85 and 99 is not worth people, like, okay, the cape's OP, So what? That doesn't matter. But how many people do you know play the game, stop at 85, and then just do fucking PVM? They just raid. They're not looking to max their account. This is not for people who want to max their account. This is people that get to the most efficient level needed, and then that's it. Fuck tons of people do it. You get 83 construction, and then you only go to 99 when you're looking to max. That's the only time you do it, you know? For the majority of players. And that's what's going to happen with sailing. There's either going to be a meta level to stop at, or people just are going to fucking hate it. But if it's not a skill, and I know that Jagex doesn't like this idea, but if it's not a skill, then it has a lot less fucking pressure. There is less need to kind of just fucking do the entire thing than bring it into the game. And people are feel less forced to play it and are more inclined to just kind of enjoy their own aspect of sailing. The only good thing about sailing is that it will be super quick to get 99 and never do again. I don't know if it's going to be super quick to get 99. I would like to think it is. I hope it is, but I don't know, man. What happens to max capes when it comes out, though? You can't wear your max cape like the quest cape when the new quest comes out. So I will see. We'll have to see, but I really want to test an alpha. Jagex obviously knows, but they need to be careful with it. So that's the sailing update, I guess. That's a long one. I apologize. This is the easiest room in the raid. It's quite simple. You got a big boy. Look at him. God damn. Fuck me. Look at that boy.